Warning, bitch ass nigga, the following contains graphic imagery and language that a lot of you bitch ass niggas and fucking bitches ain't ready for. So if you a soft sucker, bitch made ass nigga, you might wanna close your eyes and cover your ears. Parental discretion is advised, cake ass nigga.
As you may know, I lost my account, unfortunately, my former YouTube account, Slimebull Supreme, because of undisclosed and confidential material. I'd have to say it was suspended by very high up political authorities that wanted to prevent me from saying the truth, the facts, and the unembellished factualities. And I mean, I guess if I could say one thing about that channel would be trust the plan. Where we go one, we go all. But that means there's a lot of good videos that are gone now, including my Sonic Ultimate Harem video. Harem, whatever. So I need to make a successor to that. Something of, just an introduction, something that's me, something that is me giving you, the audience, something to listen to, something to carry along with. A beautiful story of love and hate, everything, really, a dilution to the fuck. The thing with Sonic's Ultimate Harem, on the other hand, was that it was sort of it had it all, in a way. It had horror, it had lust, it had joy, it had sadness, but it was functionally a romance. And what I think I want to accomplish is something that comes from a different genre direction. So I'm not going to be reading any smut, sadly, but I am going to be reading a award-winning piece of fiction. See, I've gone dark now. The video has gone dark because it's scary time. That's right, I'm reading a scary story. Jeff the Killer. So I recommend that everyone at home, the audience, they turn their lights down or off if they don't have dimmers. They watch their backs, more importantly than anything else, to make sure that there's no scary monsters, there's no Draculas, no Grinches behind them. And they make sure their brains are turned on so that they can see the scares coming. Because Jeff the Killer is a truly scary story. And I hope that the magnitude of the scares, the horrors, the spooks are conveyed. Something that, just so it gets to you. I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. If you're all ready, I'm going to begin. So, Jeff the Killer. We start with an excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer is still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in a little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. These weren't regular eyes, they were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled out a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked. I punched. I rolled around trying to knock him off of me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw a knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have had to finish him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. Thank God for the cops. If it weren't for our boys in blue, then this little boy would have been toast. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing toward the back of my house was broken. I looked out it to see him vanish into the distance. I like how the newspaper didn't edit this, his portrayal of the events at all. Kind of, I mean, this anonymous newspaper, I don't know about their editors. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. Police are still on the lookout on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story with scary eyes, please contact your local police department. And that's the prologue of the story. So, we now move on to the second part. Jeff and his family had just moved into the new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Leo? Is it Lou or Leo? I don't know, but it's spelled Liu. Couldn't complain, though. A new, better house? What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you." "Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret. This is my husband Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Liu." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said they would love to. Okay, two sentences that start with Jeff. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. "Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." "Jeff," said his mother, "we just moved here. We would show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. I love plop down. That's great fucking, whatever. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked down the stairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Liu finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. "Hey, what the hell?" Oh god, the skater bullies are coming. The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. Whoa. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wore an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. Skater boy, here we go. Well, it looks like we got some new meat." Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge, with an exclamation mark. "Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith." Jeff and Liu looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. "And he's Troy." They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. "And I," said the kid, "am Randy. Now for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift." We're over here with the skateboard mafia extortion. Liu stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. "Tisk, tisk, tisk. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems you must do this the hard way." The kid walked up to Liu and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Liu gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored and walked down to the kid. "Listen here, you little punk. Give me back my bro's wallet or else." Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. "Oh, what will you do?" Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. Pow! I want to beat my fucking bullies up too. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and fucking broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. True and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. This is dope. Liu could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. "Jeff, how'd you?" That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Liu made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Yeah, I'm tough break for editing. I don't know. I really like the idea of him, like, not only frantically writing the scene as like, oh fuck, the adrenaline's really hitting, I can finally really put this energy to page, but also just like how fucking stupid that is, just that entire fucking action scene. Some real wish fulfillment bullshit, like he's beating on these bullies, epic style. Liu just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. Jeff, you got those serious Red Army skills, man. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day at school. I wouldn't want that sociopathic shit to affect me at school either. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He woke down to find 2 police officers at his door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. Uh-oh, Jeff's fucked. He's in trouble. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, and it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son!" Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Liu." "Son," said one of the cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us?" Jeff knew it was no use. He couldn't say him and Liu had been attacked, but there was no proof that it was them. What the fuck is that sentence? He could say him and Liu had been attacked, but then there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Liu. "Son, call down your brother." Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. "Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Liu tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me." The cop looked at his partner, and they both nod. I've read this line a few times, and it's really great. "Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie." As if the cops at the front door just decide, yeah, okay, that's what he's doing. We don't need anything else. We just decided, that's the confession. He's going to prison. He's going to juvie, judge, jury, and fucking executioner. Anyway, wait! I did a really epic, face to the camera. I hope I put that in the video. "Wait!" says Liu. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked on Liu. "It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it." He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises as if he was in a struggle. "Son, just put the knife down," said the officer, holding a fucking gun to a 12-year-old. Liu held up the knife and dropped it on the ground, like a mic drop. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. No, Liu, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face. Huh, poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The officer led Liu out to a patrol car. Homicidal Liu. Oh god, I love the idea that there's a fan fiction about his revenge mission. Goals: commit as much murder as possible, ongoing. Hobby: murdering countless people, stalking. That's dope. I forgave my brother for trying to kill me. I understand the urges he gets. I've fallen for the same ones time and time again in the past, so who am I to judge him, really? Very badass. I love that. Liu doesn't have a crush on Jane the Killer. In fact, he doesn't think highly of her at all. Well, I mean, you know, I'd say that's a good thing, because Hose, I mean, it's bros before hoes, literally. He's putting his brother before before bitches, and I respect that. That's awesome. I gotta listen to that. You can tell by the title that Whispers in My Head is a fucking gem. It's nothing like I thought it would be. I'm expecting pop punk. Is this pop punk? Original and educational video for non-native speakers. Yeah, this is dope. Rock on. You could think that I'm a freak when I'm talking to myself. Oh my fucking god. Like Liu thought his brother killed his own parents. Who's next, he wondered. Liu stared into his brother's eyes and Jeff stared back evilly. Oh wow, that's great. Jeff, you don't have to do this, bro. But I want to. Liu knew he had to stand up for himself. He grabbed hold of the knife's handle and kicked Jeff heartily in the chest. Ooh, hardly. That's rough. And Jeff, now gasping for air, stood up. Now, Liu, let's make this easy. No, Liu yelled. I'm not going to die playing hide and seek. Then you leave me no choice. I'm not reading any more of this shit. I need to go back to Jeff the Killer. Liu, please, tell them it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please. You don't have to lie. We know it's Liu. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Liu inside. I like the tense change there, how it went from past to present. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing as his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Liu when it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing out of his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Liu at the JDC. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff woke up by his mother with a happy, sun-shining face. Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. What? What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Again, fucking fantastic handle on prose on the fucking past and present tense. Why, it's Billy's party! He was now fully awake. Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after... There was a long pause. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of his room and downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up, his mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom. Better than wearing too much. Very sly. He's like Deadpool. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back to his room. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled from downstairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he called fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only a striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. "You're wearing that?" Interrobang. That's an interrobang. His mother looked at her watch. "Oh no, time to change. Let's go," she said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. Why does it matter if they're literally across the street, but they're fucked up parents. They don't want to be late. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, was way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. Is this a swinger party? "The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them?" said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a freaking Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and a hat. "Hey, wanna play?" he said. No, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff." The kid looked at him with a weird puppy dog face. "Please," said the kid. "Fine," said Jeff, rolling his eyes. He put on the hat and started to pretend shoot at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. This is, let people enjoy things. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he'd done something that took his mind off Liu. So he played with kids for a while until he heard a noise. Uh-oh. A weird rolling noise. These are the skater boys are coming. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. That's impressive, honestly, how they managed to clear the fence with their fucking skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with burning hatred. "Hello, Jeff, is it?" he said. "We have some unfinished business." Jeff saw his bruised nose. "I think we're even." I imagine him saying that with a Batman voice. "I beat the crap out of you, and you got my brother sent to the JDC." I like how he just doesn't say juvenile hall. He has to do he does the fucking, what's the word? He does the, what's the fucking word when you do like the initials? Idiot! Retard! Fuck! Okay. Acronym. There we go. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. "Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today." As he said that, Randy rushed to Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets. "Oh, fuck. Wow. Things have really escalated. No one interrupts or guts will fly," they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. There's 3 kicks. 3. Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff grabs his foot and Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. "Need some help?" he asked. He picks Jeff up on the back of his collar and throws him through the patio door. Holy fuck. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. "Come on, Jeff, fight me." He picks Jeff up by the back of his collar and throws him through the patio door. Wait, why did both sentences start with "he picks Jeff up"? Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Owie. "Fight!" He throws Jeff back into the living room. "Come on, Jeff, look at me." Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. He's fucked up. "I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC." He uses that acronym again. "And now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year?" I like how he knows. "You should be ashamed." Jeff finally starts to stand up. You've awoken the beast. "Oh, finally, you stand and fight." Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one he hasn't felt in a while. "Finally, he's up," says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart, as known to be a lethal fucking... The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. The lethal heart punch. You can't go wrong with the heart punch. That's the most lethal move. That's the Mortal Kombat finishing move. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him, punch after punch. Blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although they easily break from the gaze and point their guns at Jeff, Jeff sees the gun straight at him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. These are 12-year-olds, by the way, with these fucking guns. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. This is a really fucking beautiful action move. Why'd they let their guns go? Well, they let their guns go because they ran out of bullets, I imagine. They only had 6 in the revolvers. They're Dirty Harry guns. They don't know how to reload because they're 12. Well, I wouldn't either. I mean, it's not as easy as in GTA 5, as in the GTA 5 reloading animation. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. Troy is such a fucking pussy. He gets punched in the stomach once, and he just pukes all over the floor. Now Troy gets bonked in the head with a towel rack, and he's out. He's out for the count. Keith is more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it into Keith's head. As he laid there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. I like the idea that it only took one hit to kill the kid with the towel rack. What's so funny? The why so serious face. Heath Ledger Joker, believe it or not, was actually inspired by Jeff the Killer. Because they are both scary. They both have terrifying eyes, and they both ask. Their trademark question is, "What's so serious? Why so funny?" And then they do the Joker laugh. Hee hee hee. But I mean, they all come from the same place, which is Grinch. The Grinch smile. The scary Grinch smile. When he does the twirly thing in his head, the Grinch face. He's Grinch facing. Keith pulls out a lighter and switched it on. "What's funny," he said, "is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. The bleach bleached his skin. Beautiful. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. Fucking stupid, man. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. This is indeed what happened to Michael Jackson. The bleach bleached his skin. Michael Jackson, he was having a fight with the monkey, with Bubbles, and at Dreamland or whatever the fuck he called his Childray branch, and it was in the kitchen, and he slipped on something, and the bleach bleached his skin. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, well, he's fucking 12, drop to the ground nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. None of this is scary to me because he's 13 years old, and 13-year-olds look really tall and like grown up when you're like a 7-year-old, or like when you're 13 they look normal. But when you're a fully grown human being, 13-year-olds look like children, because they are children. 13-year-olds are children. Aiden, read the story you're going to see now. No, never. I will never read the story. When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He has a cast both on his face and his fucking shoulder. Not a sling, a cast. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in. "I don't think you can get out of bed just yet," she said as she put it back in bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" he asked. She asked, not he. She. The mother asked. She. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news. After all, the witnesses told police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you. Didn't Randy die? They tried to let Liu go." This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. "He'll be out by tomorrow, and you two will be able to be together again." Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. Her child is a charcoal get, and all she cares about is the other cut. Well, her child isn't a mixed race. Isn't Mulan. He's not a black guy, but I mean, whatever. He's actually the opposite. He's the opposite of a Jamal Ginsburg, the Hasidic homeboy. Shout out Chicken and Beer. Shout out Brad if you're reading this, if you're watching this. Oh, sorry, I meant he's on fire. He's burnt to a crisp. My mistake. Just don't misconstrue racial slurs next time. That's all I'm saying. That would be a bad thing if I were a minority. I'd be offended. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, almost everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Like that's how it is. It's dramatic like that. Jeff's mother screams at the side of his face. No subtlety. Ah! Ah! No, I'm doing the screaming face. Ah! Ah! Oh, I can't believe it. Lou and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face. They're like fucking slack-jawed. "What? What happened on my face?" He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of his distress, his face. It was horrible. His lips were burned to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair was singed from brown to black, which is how hair works. It gets burnt and it turns black. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feeling to it now. He looked back at his family, then back at the mirror. "Jeff," said Lou. "It's not that bad." "Not that bad?" said Jeff. "It's perfect!" He's going fucking crazy. He's going apeshit. His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably like Joker. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching, like like that. He's laughing like that. "Jeff, are you okay?" "Okay," Jeff said. "I've never been more happy. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me." He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it. Looking in the mirror, what caused this? Well, you may recall that Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity. It snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know. "Why are you playing Jeff as gay?" "Well, Joker's gay. That's why I'm doing it like that. Because they're both gay. I mean, all crazy psychopaths. I mean, they're all queer-coded anyway. This is not out of the ordinary." "Doctor," said Jeff's mom, "is my son alright in the head?" "Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amount of painkillers." That's a great justification for like cartoon psychosis. Like, he's taken too much NyQuil. "If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test." "But there'll never be a psychological test. He's gonna kill them all." Doctor said, wait, I'm already repeating. "Oh, thank you, doctor." Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. "Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go." I'm imagining like her like worry melting from like fucked up to like, it's just, whatever. He explained it away. This makes sense. It's painkillers. Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face still formed into a crazy smile. "'Kay, mommy. Ha ha ha!" His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. "This is what came in," said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. They were stitched together? Are you just gonna give him those fucking clothes again? Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Why the fuck are they stitched together? That's what they do, actually. They give you the clothes. It's like prison. They give you the clothes you wore when you came in. That looks so fucking retarded, that fucking costume. You have to admit, it's kind of a great thing, because this isn't patented at all. There's no, not patented, there's no trademarks, there's no copyright on the Jeff the Killer character. So you can really go apeshit and just kind of do them however you want. Like that first costume, that's like normal. That's a white hoodie, and then the second one, that's a clown. That's like that's like the ice cream truck guy from Twisted Metal. That's, like that's a cartoon character. That's not Jeff the Killer. Oh wow, that's great. That one I like. I like how he looks in that one. Yeah, that's pretty close to how that's that's how I imagine it, like that. Like he looks like that. He was wearing dress pants, not jeans, dipshit. Get the fucking facts straight. I like how the image you sent is an icon that's like tiny. I can't even see what the fucking text is, but that's the cosplay. All you have to do is you have to wear white makeup. You have to wear a white hoodie. It's really the easiest cosplay monster you could do, because it's just an epic emo kid. Oh, I like that. That's tight. That's tight. That's ill. Then they left, not knowing that this was the last day of their life. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks, just like Joker. I wonder if this came out around the time the Heath Ledger Dark Knight movie was coming out, like around 2009 or whatever. Was it 2009 or 2011? I don't remember. They were both 2008, by the way. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Jeff, what are you doing? Asked his mother. That would be my reaction as well. Jeff looked over to his mother. I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever. Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. Jeff, your eyes! His eyes were seemingly never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face. I feel like the best thing to do would be to just cut your eyelids off, not, stick a lighter to them. But there you go. There's his trademark crazy eyes. Jeff's mother slowly started to realize that her son was going insane. What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful? Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun. Imagine your son having a psychotic break and your immediate impulse is just, we need to shoot this fucking crazy guy. He's fucking insane. Honey, get the fucking gun. Honey, my son's going in. Get the fucking gun. We can't let the doctors know about this fucking psycho. We need to bury him in the backyard. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. Mommy, you lied. That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. Very, very, disimpassioned, especially after that very, Michael Bay-esque fight scene. Very short, very brief description of their murder. I guess at that point he might have just been sleepy. It was past his bedtime. His brother Liu woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up, before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Liu. Liu thrashed there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh, Jeff said. Just go to sleep. Fucking fantastic. That was, when I read that when I was 13 years old, not 13, like 11, this was the scariest shit to me. This is fake, says one of the comments, and then the reply is just, yeah. That's dope. It came out when you were 6. It had made a very strong impact in this very short time it came out. When I was indeed 6 in 2008, which really goes to show that's just the passage of time, baby. It's been nearly 20 years since 2002. How the fuck did that happen? But Why, Jeff? Why? Linwood, Liu Woods and Sully, he was going insane. He couldn't help himself. It was the blood. He had the bloodlust. He was going fucking crazy. I like this comment here. Great story, but the grammar's a little sloppy. Some parts didn't make sense, like the guns at the party, vodka being flammable. They didn't give Liu a trial, and Jeff would have to go to the cops. Liu probably would have a few more years. Also during the party, where were the parents at? And then there's an edit. If you need a 12-year-old Asian boyfriend, call this number. And then the fucking phone number. And then the reply is, nobody wants an Asian boyfriend. If they did, they can go on to another site where this is. Where there is. Well, you know. There's an FBI honeypot in the Jeff the Killer comment section. I like the people all like trying to tear this apart as if, you know, yeah, I mean, you know, it's like I was doing it midway through, but I mean, just on his face, this fucking ridiculous. But I mean, the commenters are like, oh my god, this is fucking absurd. They had a gun at a party. How'd these kids bring guns to a freaking crowded party? I don't know, man. It's fucking. How about this entire thing's absurd? You can't nail down why this is fucking retarded. Time for the post-colonial analysis of Jeff the Killer. Well, the kid is named Liu, which is a very clearly an ethnic Asian Chinese dragon name. A weirdo Jap fucking name. So, as far as I can tell, there is an argument you can make about the post-colonial context that Jeff the Killer fits into. I'm sure there's like essays written about this gay fucking bullshit. Oh wow, here we go. Here's his, is this the Villains Wiki or is this just the Creepypasta Wiki? I gotta check the fucking Villains Wiki page for Jeff the Killer. That's gonna be rich. Hold on. Also, there's a page for Jandy, Troy, and Keith. That's also tight as fuck. So we got, he's Jeffrey, he's a Joker ripoff. He's got his family who's dead. His powers and skills include hand-to-hand combat prowess, enhanced senses, athleticism, inhuman durability and stamina, and great stealth. His hobby, because they have hobbies, is murdering people to satisfy his bloodlust and stalking his next victim. End as many lives as possible is his goal. Kill his parents and brother, Randy, Troy, and Keith. Those are his goals, baby. That's okay. And then we have the fucking Villains Wiki. His hobbies are killing and drinking. His crimes are serial murder, mutilation, kidnapping, torture, stalking, vandalism, arson, breaking and entering, and patricide. Unfortunately, this is not nearly as scary as Carlos, but I mean, it's close. Also, he's 5'6". He's 5'6". Yeah, okay. I wouldn't be scared of a 5'6" person. I would simply, put my finger on their head. Ah! Whoa! That's scary. That's too scary for me. I don't like that one. These ones are too scary for me. I like his eye. Those are too scary. I want you to delete that. Image from Seuss's 2008 video depicting Jeff in his mid-teens. Yeah, I think he looked like that. He looked like my best friend Kevin. Thank you for deleting, by the way. I really appreciate that. Of his powers and ability, his weaknesses are human conditioning. Despite being a dangerously strong and bloodthirsty killer who should under no circumstances be underestimated, there is still the fact that Jeff is still a normal human. His body still has its own limits. I mean, it says he's got superhuman durability, so I don't know if that's true. I like the picture of him and Slender Man fighting. That's dope. I want to see the movie adaptation of that, where it's Jeff and Slender Man having a fight. That'd be dope, really. That's like Aliens versus Predator. Batman versus Superman. Due to the original Jeff the Killer story being taken down from the Creepypasta Wiki for its terrible storytelling and formula. Oh, okay. A competition was held to rewrite the story entirely due to the character being one of the most popular creepypastas to date. K. Bannon Kellum won the competition, making his reboot the definitive Jeff the Killer story. In 2017, he decided to continue the story by creating sequels in the Spin Pasta wiki, integrating into the same universe as his other creepypasta stories, including Hyrock Tobit. Is it Tobit or Tobit? Because I'm reading it like it's a fucking Arabic name. What the fuck is Hyrock Tobit? Is it like a fucking anagram where it's like something backwards, or like it's something in a... Oh wow, I googled it and immediately got one of the results where reading a sex scene from my Hyrock Tobit, and I'm imagining he wrote like a fan fiction of it. This fucking sucks. I can't believe there are people who jack off to this shit. He's a bull. He's a bull. There was someone who said, I actually remember this because I retweeted it when it came out. It was about how Elon, there we go, fucking Minotaur. How Elon Musk was a hack because computers and brains don't have the same internal wiring. Because the internet and the neural connections in your head, you can, what I'm saying is it's like how you can remember something but not remember at the same time. How you've got a word on your tip of your tongue because the connections don't work in the sense where they're like filed into different places. It's your brain going and having these vague remembrances of something. But then I remember that's not based on anything. And that's just kind of a hunch, and there is actual science to say that that's not the case, or there is the case, or there's like different explanations for it. Or it's like, you know, how people said about the singularity, how it wouldn't happen instantly, but then, and like how throughout history, before a big change or when a change happens, you either realize it's happened already, or there's a bunch of things leading up to it where it's slowly building up. And then I remember at the same time, I mean, we're kind of in the midst of that in the sense that, I mean, we're already seeing these advances happen. We're just not contextualizing it in that sense. Anyway, I'm dumb as fuck, and this was a big tangent about the fact that I want to kill myself. I really do. I want to put a gun in my fucking mouth and pull the trigger. I'm actually going to do that. I'm gonna end the video mid-sentence.